Good morning, Facebook. Coming to you live from the back patio this morning. Friday mornings, I actually get a little bit of time off. I don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. So I'm still sitting here cozy. I got my morning cup of coffee, and I hope you guys are off to a great start on this Friday. One of the questions that I get so much, especially when we start off a brand new year and a brand new transformation challenge, because now we're kind of getting into that third and fourth week of the year, is I haven't lost weight, or I have lost 4 or 5 pounds, but I feel like I look so different. So I want to come to you today because there's a big difference between losing weight and burning fat. And the difference is huge visually, physically, and with your health internally. So we really want to specify what we're burning and what we're losing, and not just losing precious muscle, but burning that stubborn belly fat, those trouble areas, and everything else in your body where that fat is making you unhealthy. So that's the first part. Muscle, your organs, your tissues, your bones, anything that's living in your body is burning calories on a day-to-day basis just to stay alive, just to maintain itself. Every pound of fat, every ounce of fat, every little measly little bit of fat is weighing you down, making you unhealthy, and also slowing down all the natural processes in the body, which that could be nerve flow, that could be blood flow, that could be your digestion, that could be all sorts of different things. So muscle makes you healthy, fat makes you unhealthy. So how come when we get 2 or 3 weeks into a diet and we look at the scale and we see we've only lost a pound or we've lost no weight, why do we get so discouraged? Why aren't we going based off measurements? Why aren't you taking progress pictures? Why haven't you gotten your body fat tested to find out if you've actually lost fat? Because I'll tell you this, without actually getting your body fat tested, how do you even know? Good question, right? So here's this. If you lost 10 pounds of fat and you gained 10 pounds of muscle, what's that scale going to show? It's going to show that you've lost 0 pounds. But visually, you're going to look 20 pounds different. You've gained 10 pounds of beautiful muscle. You've lost 10 pounds of fat. That's putting the scale away from itself. Big, big numbers, but not on that scale down there. All right, so the way you're going to see it is going by based on pictures, your measurements, and body fat percentage. So let's talk about this real quick. Some of the different things that people have tried to do, they take diuretics, they take water pills. Well, guess what? All that's doing is pulling water out of your healthy body parts, like your muscle, your organs, your tissue. You're not pulling water out of your fat. So what happens now is we make your muscle and your skin and everything else less nourished with water. Well, now you're actually increasing the visual appearance of cellulite. So by pulling water out and basically taking this smooth surface, getting rid of the smooth surface and only having that skin pushing against fat, fat is dimply. So what are you going to leave? You're going to leave the appearance of cellulite. So that's not going to work. So we're not going to take away water. The next part, what about doing more cardio? What if we go on the treadmill more, the elliptical more? What if we start running and we're doing something like that? Well, here's the downside. You are only burning calories for that time period that you are actually doing that cardio. As soon as your heart rate goes back down to normal, the fat burning ends. Now, when you work out and you're using your actual muscles, that is actually going to burn calories for 2, 3, sometimes even 4 days. I am still sore in my back and in my chest from my Monday and Tuesday workout. Guess what? My body is burning more calories and more fat to recover this muscle, to help my body stay alive, to return me back to that homeostasis of feeling good, which is what my body wants, and so does yours. So when you're working out and you're building muscle, that muscle every single second of every single day is burning more calories to stay alive. So that's your differences between cardio and weightlifting. Now, a lot of times people say, well, I don't want to get too big. I don't want to get too bulky. Well, I'll put it this way. I've been working out now this is about 15 years. I've been a trainer for 13 years. So I'd like to think I know what the heck I'm doing. Well, guess what? I have not turned into some bulky Hulk no matter how hard I've tried. I eat to try and gain more mass, I lift to try and gain more mass, and I am still not that bulky person, okay? So I can promise, unless you are sitting there dedicating yourself to being a power lifter and some bulky person, you are not going to get too bulky just by lifting weights. But what will happen is as you start to strip away layers and layers of fat, you're going to have this sculpted, beautiful, rounded shoulders. It is going to come down to a small tapered waist. You're going to have athletic and toned hips and butt, and then it's going to go down into some nice, healthy looking legs. But what would happen if we just did cardio? All you're doing is you might be stripping away more fat, but what's it unveiling underneath? What kind of present are you pulling away when you rip away that wrapping paper underneath? It might not be what you like. All it's going to be is a smaller version of the fat version that you did not like in the mirror already. So in order to change what you're seeing in the mirror, and in order to change and appreciate and love what you see and the work you've put in, you have to actually build that foundation. Lifting weights is basically like making you like a sculptor in charge of your own life and your own creation. As you do those sets of lateral raises, as you do those sets of curls, as you do those squats, you are putting on just little bits of clay of muscle underneath those layers of fat. And as those layers of fat get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, you reveal this beautiful shape underneath. Cardio can't do that. Dieting alone can't do that. Starvation diets don't do that. You have to fuel the muscle. You have to actually provide the nourishment that the muscle needs to recover. But more than anything, you need to stimulate the muscle. So going into this weekend, I think this is a perfect message for a Friday. You have 3 days to wrap your head around. What am I doing maybe that I could tweak a little bit going into next week? Could I add a little bit more lifting? Have I been running daily and maybe I want to back off on the running and incorporate intervals where I run to a certain period, I do a few push-ups, then I run to the next maybe light pull and I do a few squats, then I run to the next mailbox and I do a few dips on the curb. But think about how you're going to start to incorporate more muscles into your training as opposed to just your heart rate. Because I can promise you this, when you are lifting properly, your heart is beating and your blood is pumping and all the little benefits that you get from cardio, you're also getting from weightlifting plus that much more. So take this lesson on a Friday. I hope this kind of sparks some new ideas into your mind as far as training, as far as weight loss versus fat loss, and the difference is huge. So go into this weekend, guys, re-strategize, replan. If you have questions and if you need help, please make sure you leave them in this comment section here because you, in your question, might help the next person that's struggling with these same issues. Lastly, more important than anything else, guys, sharing is caring. So if you guys could click this share button right down here at the bottom, you don't know whose life you could change. You've already started to possibly maybe see the differences of lifting and getting in better shape. And there might be some onlooker looking on Facebook or in your life, seeing what you're doing, but thinking maybe that they can't do it themselves. And it might just take that one little bit of encouragement. It might just take sharing a post. It might take just kind of sharing what happened with you and what you've actually seen that's been different in your life. And you do that, and then you motivate the next person. And then what happens? That person sees results, and they motivate the next person. And person by person, maybe we can start to get Pascal under that 56% of obesity rate. You can help, I can help, and we all can pay it forward. So sharing is caring. Click the like button. Guys, have a great weekend. And if you want to hear on other topics, if you want more help with something, please, I am just a message away. Either leave it in the comment section here, or my cell phone is 727-810-4005. Make it a great Friday, make it a kick-ass weekend, and let's make it a killer 2017 and the best results we can get.